This is Bangkok Podcasting, and today we're at the President Tower at the offices of Pernod-Ricard, who are responsible for Jameson whiskey here in Thailand. We just attended a Thai-Irish Chamber of Commerce event where we've learned about the history of whiskey, and it was fantastic. And after this fantastic event where we've all been fed and watered, but not with whiskey because it was a morning event, I'm joined by Paul, who is the current president of the Irish Thai Chamber of Commerce. How do you feel it went?
It went well, Trevor. The purpose of the breakfast briefing meeting today was to encourage some of the younger members of the chamber out there, and I think that we succeeded on that front. We had the ambassador here today. We were hosted by Pernod-Ricard, who are the current owners of the Jameson whiskey brand, and many thanks go out to them for their kindness, for helping us to get this event off the ground. This was a very strategic location on the SkyTrain.
Yeah.
Whether it was whiskey was the product, but it was more about the subject of marketing. And I think we found out today how Jameson, in their own bespoke way, go out to identify their tribes, to feed their tribes, to get them into their product, and to continue developing that. So that's what today was about. The whiskey was just happened to be the byproduct.
Yeah, and not the products being served. I'll tell you what was being served, though, which made my day. Barry's tea.
But we never miss an opportunity.
So is that an Irish Thai Chamber of Commerce like mainstay? We have the Barry's tea.
Well, I think probably we have the Irish whiskey as well. So,
yeah.
For those people that only drink tea, fine.
Well, I drink both. So I was totally well cared for, although I've had no whiskey. It's a bit early for me. So tell me more about the Thai-Irish Chamber of Commerce. Give me a bit of a potted history, if you like.
Fine. Well, as most people know, Ireland itself only has about 5 million people in terms of population.
In Ireland.
Yet we've got 70 million people that claim to be Irish.
Yeah, most of them in New York.
A lot of them in the USA, a lot of them in Australia, an increasing number of them in Asia too.
Right.
In Thailand, we have a lot of Irish people working for British or American or Asian companies. And over the years, they, in a very organic way, got involved together in various societies and various groups. And in Thailand, the oldest grouping or tribe, if you want to describe it that way, was the St. Patrick's Society, which was very social-oriented and not really focused on business. So about 15 years ago, some Irish business people decided to set up the chamber. I got involved about 8 years ago, president ever since. And these were in the days before we had an embassy.
Yeah.
So we've only had an embassy. We're on our second ambassador, Ambassador Tony Cotter, been here 8 months. Before that, we had Brendan Rogers, who set it up. He did a great job. So before we had an embassy, there was a need to liaise with the Irish state bodies. I spent a lot of time on a thing called the Global Irish Economic Advisory Group. I went back to Ireland every few months, met with the government, kept pushing them for an embassy. And once they approved the opening of the embassy, that made a huge difference to the Irish community in Thailand. So now we have Patrick Society, Irish Thai Chamber of Commerce, the GAA, which is the Gaelic football.
I know it well.
Right, and we also have the Irish Women's Network.
Right.
So there are 4 constituent parts who each have their own mandate, whether it comes from the embassy or it comes from within their organisation, to develop Irishness within Thailand. Yeah. And that's what we've done at the Chamber. At the Chamber, we've got focus groups in different sectors like education, food and beverage, renewable energy, areas where Ireland can make a difference, and where our goal is to increase trade between Thailand and Ireland and Ireland and Thailand.
Right. So, I mean, obviously there are some very practical things about particularly importing things into Thailand. The traditional industries here tend to have been monopolized by a handful of people, and those are seriously protected politically. There is a protectionism that exists here. Is that getting better? It does seem to be. I mean, I've lived here 20 years. The diversity of international products that I can get now is far beyond what I could when I first came. So is that getting better? And are there things that the Chamber can do to help people navigate through that? If you're an Irish business that's maybe operating in the region, but not in Thailand, is there a specific advantage to them in being part of the Chamber?
Certainly. I mean, like you, when I came in the late 80s, the only place that we could go to buy anything was Villa down on Sukhumvit.
That's right.
And now
Phuket was worse.
Indeed. And now look at the choices that we have are incredible.
Still no Barry's Tea though. We need to get a task force. The Barry's Tea Task Force, Thailand. There's got to be an acronym in there somewhere.
Yeah, we're out there. We're working on it. You'll find quite a lot of Irish product in Central, in Tops.
Kerry are huge.
Yeah,
Kerry are huge in Asia.
Yeah, they are. But there are different Kerrys. The Kerry Ingredients Company, which is a big manufacturer and a big buyer of Thai product. They buy 45 million euros worth of Thai chicken every year to send back to Ireland.
Wow.
So that company, which is the manufacturer, is huge. The Kerry retail product, like the Kerry Gold Butter, etc., which is a different organization.
Oh, right.
You will see that in certain places around Asia. But we're increasing the number of Irish products in the Thai market. It's a gradual process.
If you had a wish list, like the three companies that you feel from your experience of living here, not just emotionally, but in terms of would make sense, who would they be?
Well, I think that they're all in the food and beverage sector,
right?
Because that's Ireland's largest indigenous export.
Yeah, it's huge.
The export economy in Ireland is there's two areas. One are those companies, particularly American ones, that came to make Ireland their home in Europe, like Facebook, LinkedIn, Intel, Apple. And so they make up a massive amount of the exports. But the indigenous exports, of which we're incredibly proud, the Irish beef, Irish dairy product, and all of these brands are potentially available to come to Thailand when the time is right. The issue has been in the past that the European Union, which is on the Irish doorstep, and of which Ireland is a big participant, particularly in the food and beverage sector, has always been the low-hanging fruit for Ireland.
Of course.
And now with Brexit and with the changes that are going on globally, with the prospect of a free trade agreement between Europe and Thailand in the offing, although it'll take time, there is obviously a lot of opportunity for Ireland to showcase its food and beverage product here. So, in terms of being involved in the Chamber, there's many different reasons why Irish companies want to join the Irish Thai Chamber. And we don't just work at a domestic level within the Chamber. We liaise very closely with the Irish state bodies. So the three big ones are the IDA, who are involved in bringing foreign direct investment into Ireland. So if you want to buy a whiskey distillery or develop a whiskey distillery in Ireland, you'd talk to the IDA and they would be like the Board of Investment in Thailand. They would hold your hand, give you benefits and encourage you to set up in the country. The second one is Enterprise Ireland. Enterprise Ireland help primarily Irish companies to invest and export abroad. And the nearest office that we have to Thailand is in Singapore. And the third group is Board Bia. Bia is the Gaelic word for food. Board Bia support Irish companies and build the image of Irish companies across the world as far as Irish food is concerned. And we at the Chamber work very closely with all three organisations.
Right.
In addition, Irish companies that are already here, we work closely with the Board of Investment. We have access at all levels there to help problem solve and troubleshoot when the need arises. And in addition to that, we're advisory group members of the EABC, which is effectively the Eurocham. We're on the board and actively participate in the joint foreign chambers. And we also hold one of the 15 foreign board directorships at the Thai Board of Trade,
Right.
which is Thai Board of Trade is where the foreign chambers and the Thai Chamber of Commerce, which is a massive organization, all come together. So we are actively participating in every aspect of the structure of business and how it interacts in Thailand.
Right. So, I mean, I guess that there are Irish people and maybe Irish companies who are operating here who don't participate in the chamber. Can I summarise that what they gain from it is perhaps more information that they would get that's relevant to them about policy, more guidance from expertise from people who've been here a while doing business here and know how to do it right, which is often, most people want to do business correctly here. It's just that it's very hard to find out how. You know, everything's in Thai and you're relying on somebody in between translating accurately what you need to do regarding compliance or how to get something done the right way. Would that be a fair summary?
Yeah, there's many different levels. But I mean, on market entry, if I'm setting up a business in Thailand and I come from Ireland, by coming to talk to the folks at the chamber, and when you go around our board and look at the collective experience of all the years, frankly, it can save you a lot of money instead of going to a lawyer and asking them, you know, from day one, you know, what your options are. So, you know, a very sort of a very casual session with 2 or 3 of our guys can put you on the right track. That's number one. Number two, once you've made up your mind to come in and you're going in a particular direction, there will be issues that come up. And, you know, again, the grey hair around the chamber will help sort of resolve some of those. Or at least
they've been there before, so they
exactly.
can say,
we've all been down the same road.
You fight this or don't fight this one because you can't win.
Exactly. Or they want to be the first to do something in Thailand. Yeah. You know, we've all heard that so many times.
I've done that.
And you know, we won't discourage them from being the first. If they're the first, good luck to them. But, you know, we will sort of highlight the issues that we ourselves have experienced. So I think one of the differences between our chamber and other chambers is we don't turn our directors over all the time.
Right.
And not only that, a lot of our board directors are long-termers in Thailand because unlike a lot of other countries who are a lot larger than Ireland, you know, their companies will send people here for 3 years or 5 years and then they move them on.
Yeah.
So a lot of our Irish board participants have either their own businesses like I do, or they work for companies and have made their decision to stay here for the long term. So that longevity gives us a lot of wisdom around the table at the board, and that is open to be accessed by members.
I think that if you were a new entering business here and you knew that the chamber existed, you'd be mad not to take advantage of that. I personally, as a long-term expat like yourself, I see that as perhaps the absolute gem within the Irish Thai Chamber, and the fact that you're all really nice. I mean,
well, nice of you to say so, but that's Ireland, you know. And you know, our Thai students that are now going to Ireland for education, we've been building the 3rd level education platform, and it's going really well, to be honest. And the one thing that they all come back saying is how safe, well, they say firstly how safe they were, but more importantly, how friendly everybody was. So, you know, that's the hallmark of Irishness. And I'm not saying that other countries aren't equally hospitable, but it is one of our hallmarks, and we're proud of that. And, you know, also by joining the chamber, you access all of that good humour, a bit of crack. We know how to blend business and pleasure. And we take care of our members. We take care of new people that come to live in Thailand. And I'm on my way after this meeting, for example, to meet a guy that's working for one of the large banks. He's just arrived. And he needs some guidance on what he might do with regard to education of his children and opening up doors as far as business is concerned. So it's something that we do. We do it on a bespoke basis. So if somebody joins the chamber...
you used that word in your speech before, and I love that word. I think a lot of people don't understand what it means, but my interpretation is that it adapts to whatever your needs are. There aren't, you know, it's not off the shelf. It's designed to fit around what you need of it. Is that right?
That's right. It's very important. You know, being a small chamber helps us to do that, but it's also part of the Irishness thing. that we want to get to know people. It's all about building relationships. And, as president of the chamber, my biggest challenge is motivating people to get involved and to give up their time as volunteers. I'm a volunteer. Yeah. Everybody's a volunteer except for the secretariat. So, it's really important from the point of view of motivating people, to be able to show the way, encourage them. And the way we do it is to build relationships. I think one of the other things that's important is that if people come and join the chamber, they can join one of our focus groups. So if you're in the food and beverage industry, for example, we have a very active food and beverage focus group. You can then sit around the table with your peers from other companies. They may be in slightly different areas, but you have the same kind of issues in common. And I think one of the things we all suffer from a little bit in Thailand is getting stuck in a little bit of a cocoon where you're doing your job every day, or if you're self-employed, you're not in big business anymore, and you miss out on some things that and it's really important to stick your head above the parapet and to get involved, and that's one of the great purposes of the chamber.
I like that a lot. Yeah, I think I see the appeal of that. Especially if you're a, self-employed, kind of one-man band even, that pretty much most of my two main businesses, I'm the guy, don't really have any staff, employ some freelancers every now and then to do certain things. But we don't have the water cooler. You don't get to kind of throw an idea out there with a bunch of guys who do something similar or do something different in the place where you are. And to have them kill that baby for you, say, no, don't do that. I remember someone did that about 5 years ago, and now they're poor.
Well, there's all sorts of, and actually there's many reasons for joining the chamber. Like me, for example, I got to a certain point in my career where I had a bit of time to devote, and I felt very strongly about it. It was something I wanted to do because I believed in the future between Ireland and Thailand, despite our difference in the distance. The difference in our personalities is not so great. No. And I like the earthy sort of way that Thai people and Irish people communicate. Yeah. But other people do it because they're at the beginning of their career and they want to build their, their network, or they're trying to develop their product, or they're wanting to meet investors in their business. So there's so many different reasons why one might want to choose to join the Irish Thai Chamber. Or you might just want to come along on a morning on a Friday at 7:30 and listen to the story of whiskey.
And drink some Barry's tea.
Exactly.
I'm up for that every Friday. Just keep me posted. All right. Well, listen, I think that there's an absolutely compelling case for anyone to get involved in the Irish Thai Chamber here in Bangkok. And if they're elsewhere, I mean, they can come to events that you do. I mean, there's big populations in Phuket, as you know, and Pattaya, Chiang Mai as well. So have you got anything coming up in the next, few weeks, months?
We have. I mean, we've had an incredibly busy past few months. We hosted the Asia Pacific Irish Business Forum, which is all of the regional chambers of commerce. Under the leadership of the Irish Thai Chamber, we formed a company based in Hong Kong, which is how all of our regional chambers now come together. And we're planning a number of regional events. What we want to do with that organization is to be able to offer Thai-based companies the opportunity to access markets within Asia.
Right.
And by tying together with our friends, our Irish chambers in Singapore, in KL, in Hong Kong, in Tokyo, etc., we will be able to offer that opportunity. It gives us an edge over a number of other chambers in Thailand that don't actually have that facility. So we've been busy working on that. But in terms of events going forward, if you're a golf stick person, we've got our annual golf day coming up in June.
Golf stick day.
Yeah, well, I might as well be playing with sticks because. But anyway, we all go out. We hold it at the Thai Country Club. Right. A lot of interesting people coming along, and then the Thai Country Club cater brilliantly for us afterwards. Wow. There'll be Guinness and there'll be Jameson whiskey there as well.
I might come for that bit.
Please do. You can.
None of the sticks. Well, it's quite near me as well, and nothing is near me. I live out in the sticks, so there's nothing near me. So if there's an event near me, I'm in. Even if I have to play golf.
Yeah, we would be delighted to have you. We've also got renewable energy events coming up and various other things. You keep an eye on the Chamber website, irishthaicc.com.
Let me repeat that, irishthaicc.com.
And you'll find out information. You can become a member if you wish. It's only 6,000 baht per annum. It's one of the best value memberships out there. Yeah. And we always welcome participation in our board activities and in our focus groups, which I mentioned in education, in renewable energy, in food and beverage, and technology, and other areas. So please, if you're interested, you don't have to be Irish.
No.
We're happy to have people that just want to contribute.
Even people from Manchester.
Especially people from Manchester, but of the red variety rather than the blue variety.
See, what you need to know is that this interview is being recorded the week following Manchester City winning the Premier League for the second time running. And I am a blue. I was a red.
And I have a program from the Manchester Derby for you, which I shall, especially in the year that's in it. Sad year for the red side, but happy blues.
That's been a great year. Yeah, what a season. Right then, listen, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for the invite to this event today. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, even though we didn't get on the whiskey. Probably a good idea, right, this time on a Friday. Thank you very much, Paul.
You're very welcome.